Fanta, you were in the building. Marquette, Xavier. For my money, look, all due respect, Providence fans are probably going to get mad at me for saying this, but like, there's no way that I can watch that game and say that those aren't the two best teams in the Big East right now. Just flat out. Like, they have so many weapons. They're so bought into what they do. They're so dangerous offensively. And yeah, maybe they can't really get stops and they're not going to guard anybody, but like, if you put up 85, you don't really have to be that good defensively to win. That's T.O.'s mindset.
I'll tell you what. If you are watching Xavier, your takeaway is this right now. It is the closest thing that college basketball touches in regards to NBA shot making. Guys, Xavier's shot making is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it is ridiculously good. Like they come down and within 8 seconds have a quality shot and it goes in. I think first off, I think that right now there's an argument that Xavier is the most entertaining team in college basketball from a watch
Yeah,
perspective.
I agree with
You know what's funny? The one team that I would have above them right now, Marquette.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I don't know how much you guys were watching last Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
because there were a million games on, but Bill Raftery said this to me at halftime of yesterday's game. Like, man, that was a fun half. He's like, yeah, he goes, believe it or not, Xavier Creighton was better in terms of
Mm-hmm.
that halftime. And he's right. I mean, of course he's right. He's ref. But Xavier Creighton was an unbelievable game. That's my point on Xavier. Like, if you're looking to watch entertaining basketball right now, Xavier is they go against all those, all those college hoops haters, people who are like, oh, the sport possessions are so tough to watch and there's so many misses and I can't watch this. I'm an NBA fan. Yes, okay, great. Enjoy your January and February of meaningless basketball. For Xavier, they just fill it up. Sule Boom has been a ridiculously good transfer addition. He's been one of the 3 to 5 best transfer ads by a team. Colby Jones has gotten better. Jack Nungy got to 50-50 balls yesterday and made things happen. And Jerome Hunter has really developed as a player. So for me, guys, like, I'm with you. Xavier's the best team in the Big East as we're talking right now. And Marquette is number 2. You know why? Marquette's got one of the best point guards in America. Over his last 5 games, Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek has 54 assists to 11 turnovers.
That's insane.
54 assists to 11 turnovers. Omax
One thing, I want to add one thing, the point of context for you. In the history of the Big East, right, Tyler Kolek is the only player to have a game with 15 assists and 0 turnovers. He did that on, who did they play? Was it Wednesday?
It was against Georgetown.
Yeah, it was against, who cares? 15 assists, 0 turnovers. You could be playing nobody. You got to figure at some point, like, a ball is going to go through somebody's hands. You're going to throw a pass, it's going to hit somebody in the foot. It's going to hit him in the face. The passer gets the turnover there.
He's been
15
great.
assists, 0 turnovers. He's ridiculous.
Great. Marquette's gotten better as the season's gone on. Cam Jones is such a good shot maker. I mean, Cam Jones is legit, and T.O. called that one. He had it.
Boy, T.O.
He's been
Oh,
fantastic.
man.
I'll tell you, I mean,
Tennessee Cam.
It's just the offense that's being played is special. And we've talked about how Sean Miller reinvented some things that he does. Talking with Sean yesterday, he said, we've got a lot to be proud of and we got a lot to be happy with. And I saw Sean in the hallway. He was about to head out of the building yesterday at the Cintas Center, which, by the way, such a great building. Cintas Center is such a fun building when they've got it rolling. It's back. That atmosphere's back.
How many can you fit in there? 11,000?
They fit about 11,000. Exactly. And it just gets loud. Their student section was so good yesterday.
Do they still have the judges?
The judges.
Wasn't it the Xavier judges? Who's that group of guys, a group of fans that sit on the baseline? Let me see. They had them there last time I was there.
Do they defend well enough to be legitimate national title contenders?
I don't know about legitimate national title contenders in that regard.
I got a number for you on it real quick, and then you can go, Fanda. The lowest heading into the tournament, the lowest that any team was ranked on KenPom's adjusted defensive efficiency metric since 2002 in the KenPom database was North Carolina in 2009. They were ranked 39th. in 2015, Duke entered the tournament ranked 37th on KenPom. Those are the two worst defensive teams that have won a national title. The worst offensive team that has won a national title was UConn in 2014. They were ranked 52nd in KenPom heading into the tournament. For the most part, like, you got to be kind of top 20 to 25 in both and top 10 in one to really be like a national title threat. Like, that's what the majority of the teams are. Like, second in offense, 22nd in defense, something like that. Those are the teams that win titles. Sorry, go ahead, Fanta.
Yeah, so Xavier's 91st right now. Their best defense is their offense, T.O. And because they can
there's something to be said there. Go ahead, Fanta. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Especially today.
Yeah.
In college basketball. I mean, they really – guys, I'm blown away. Like, watching that game live yesterday, you end up just – your eyebrows are raised at some of the shot making and some of the back and forth, and it was just punch for punch, shot for shot. Forgot to say Adam Kunkel's name. Kunkel's another guy who Xavier really needs, and he comes up big for them in different spots. And, man, Sean has developed Jerome Hunter to the point that, just being honest, real talk, if he has to sit Zach Fremantle for 5 minutes, he could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
having that bench be effective is so big for him.
Yeah, yesterday he had to do it. And so, tell you what, they've got DePaul Wednesday, then Georgetown at home. Here's how we segue the show. So, I think that they will take a 13-game winning streak. They will have won 13 in a row, and they'll take that into Gamble Pavilion a week from Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that game at all. It kind of, UConn soon has kind of made my life a lot easier, because I was trying to figure out, like, how am I going to get up to do a live? We're doing this live show tomorrow from Manhattan for Kansas State. I was like, how am I going to get up there for UConn Xavier? This might be for first place in the Big East. I don't even have to worry about it now because UConn stinks.
Oh, come on.
They don't stink. They've lost for the past 5, but there was I want to go back to your
2 weeks. They've stunk.
I want to go back to your point, Fanta, about you say sometimes your best defense is your offense, and there's some validity to that, because if you're making shots, your defense is set. Mm-hmm. And Xavier's making shots at an incredible rate. You shoot 40% as a team on the year. Like, that's something to brag about. And when Kunkel, who's arguably your space and spot guy and defender, is your worst shooter in your starting lineup, he's shooting, what, 38, 9, 30, 40, something like that?
Yeah.
So, that's tough. Souley Boum has been tremendous, though.
Oh, my God.
His speed with the basketball, his ability to knock down shots. Like, keep in mind, too, like, some of your metrics defensively are going to be skewed towards in a negative light, because if you're playing fast on offense, you're playing more possessions. More possessions equal more points. Things like that over the course of a game. So sometimes they'll be a little bit skewed, but they're fun to watch. Shit, are they fun to watch? And, man, is Shaka coaching his butt off up at Marquette too.
Yeah, I think it's important to note that both of these guys kind of historically have been known as defensive coaches. I think that's fair, right? Like, Shaka was always like the havoc guy. We're going to force turnovers. We're going to win defensively and then figure it out offensively. Yeah. I think that Sean, when he was at Arizona, like, that was a knock on him, right? He's a great defensive coach. What's he going to bring offensively? Both of these guys have really opened it up. Sean, if you listen to him tell it, I don't know, maybe this is real, maybe it's not, maybe he just knows the pieces that he has here, but he said while he was working with us, he was able to just study other offenses more than he ever did when he had a team, and it kind of changed his view on what basketball could be. Shaka, I think, kind of saw the light, went out, hired Nevada Smith. Is it Nevada Smith?
That's right.
The guy out of the G League, to kind of revamp what they do offensively, kind of let him plan that. And both of them are terrific at, one, coming up with scouting reports and getting guys to buy into it, and then two, developing a culture where people are going to play for each other. And so I think it goes to show you don't have to have control over every single possession. You don't have to fight for every single inch. Sometimes you can just go out there and you can play basketball this way, and you can win a lot at the college level. Not every college coach buys that.
Last point I'll make, I don't know how they'll end up doing. I think that Xavier will find a way to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, but here's what I know. Whether it's in the Big East tournament in a round 3 with Marquette, or in a game with Creighton at the Garden or whatnot. Like, I know one thing. Xavier in March is going to play some sort of insane game that just you come away saying, oh my gosh, that was so much fun to watch. Xavier will be a part of one of those types of games, aka, a la 2 Holloway against Kansas State in that double overtime NCAA tournament game that Gus Johnson went berserk on. Like, we're going to see Xavier play in one of those games. They are that entertaining. They're that high wire offensively. And, man, you're right, T.O. I'll tell you this much. They're not a great defensive team. However, Sean Miller's a good enough coach that when he needs to get his guys together and they need to get a stop for at least on this 11-game winning streak, this team has found a way to get the stops they needed to.
Yep.